The making of a sports star began at a very young age.
My first time, I was 6 years old and I was at June Mountain. And I remember I basically begged my parents to get on a board because my older brother had started doing it and I had to do what he was doing. But I remember my parents were cool with it because they figured I was such like a monster on skis, and they figured if they put me on a snowboard I'd slow down and they'd be able to keep up with me. That didn't work out.
Following around his older brother, Shaun quickly became inseparable from a board, on snow or wheels.
We would just go to skate park, and I'd skate with my friends, and then he'd just be tagging along, you know, kind of here and there. And when we went up to the mountains, it was the same scenario, and he's like cruising around, and you're like, oh, okay, so Shaun's gonna be over there, and then he'd be way over there. Like, you would never know what to expect, because, you know, he's 6, so he can just duck under any rope, any tree, whatever. I think just through, like, our friends and with him, like, we would just all ride together and just kind of push each other to do better. But, you know, from the beginning, Shaun was just clearly above and beyond. Like, you could just see something was different.
At the staggering age of just 7 years old, Shaun was snapped up for sponsorship by snowboard manufacturer Burton.
Clearly, from a very young age, we were hearing that there was this kid out in California who was riding our product, who was very much ahead of his age in the context of what he should be doing on a snowboarding. I mean, he was ripping. He was doing stuff that 9-year-olds don't do on a snowboard. This sport was nothing like it is now, but he was getting air, he was doing tricks, grabs, he clearly had some style. He was just like a 17-year-old in a 9-year-old's body.
Well, Burton was a special story because when I was about 7 years old, you know, we couldn't find any snowboards my size. They sat there and I was a kid at the time. They're like, do well and we'll give you another board, and that was like all the motivation I needed.
Turning pro at the age of 13, Shaun had his first major win aged 15 in 2001.
I'd win snowboard contests and I couldn't get the award because it was at a bar. I'd be outside like, hey, you know, you'd be 21 to get in, so I'm sitting outside like, I won, sweet.
He's gone on to win an unrivaled 16 X Games titles, not only in snowboarding, but in skateboarding too.